Meghan Markle's escalating bitter family feud is casting a dark cloud over her desperate desire for the world to believe that her marriage to Prince Harry remains happy and loving. But does it? Meanwhile, the Duchess's reported bid to crash in on the peace talks her husband hopes to hold with the British royals has turned them into a non-starter. As far as Prince William and Kate are concerned, if they never see Meghan again, it will be way too soon. Any remote chance of rapprochement with Harry depends on his wife's conspicuous absence. It's sunny in California, but on planet Sussex, it's shaping up to be a cold Christmas. As Samantha Markle reignites her legal bid to prove that she was horribly libelled on Netflix by her famous sister, Meghan is battling to preserve her carefully curated image as the perfect fairy tale princess. Sadly, Her Montecito Majesty is fighting a losing battle. Huge question marks prevail after Harry jetted off on yet another of his increasingly frequent solo trips, this time to Vancouver, while Meghan enjoyed a night on the town dancing with friends in LA's bohemian Venice Beach district. The Duke was promoting his Invictus Games for wounded military heroes. The Duchess was helping to plug her chum KD Lee's highbrow hippie hair products. Certainly, Muesli's enterprise stands more chance of making money than Meghan's dead-in-the-water American Riviera orchard, the still not open for business lifestyle site she launched way back in March, but 8 stagnant months later is going nowhere fast. Similarly, signed 20 months ago, the Duchess's exciting contract with major showbiz agency William Morris Endeavour hasn't exactly propelled her into the Hollywood Super League. It was supposed to foster her film and television producing ambitions and transform her into a $1 million-a-time influencer. Current status: no film or TV shows in production. Her first influencer post yet to be made, which all adds up to nothing. Nada. Sadly, Harry's fortunes aren't faring much better. The recently released paperback version of his spiteful autobiography Spare is tanking disastrously. The feel-bad book for Christmas was last seen languishing at 73rd in the sales charts. The hardback Spare was a bestseller. The paperback Spare is a worst seller. And as for his uneagerly awaited Chinless Wonders horse sports series Polo, he's not even in Netflix's promotional trailer, although Meghan has managed to get her oar in with a big banner credit. Executive produced by Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Isn't that special? What do you mean, no? Great, of course, to see the gruesome twosomes' names together on screen. Not so great to so rarely see them together off-screen. And word is that if Harry really does want a peace pact with his father, King Charles, and his brother, Prince William, Meghan's involvement will be a deal-breaker. Trouble is, the difficult Duchess is said to be insisting that the Sussexes are an inseparable double act. And she's demanding that if Harry returns to the regal fray, she has to be part of the package. In other words, as things stand, it just ain't gonna happen, unless, that is, Harry's penchant for going it alone becomes permanent. Either way, one thing is clear. Behind the gilded gates of Montecito Towers, these are turbulent times. But breaking news, this just in. Britain's migrant crisis just got worse. Meghan's irritating friend and neighbour Ellen DeGeneres has quit Donald Trump's America and crossed the Atlantic for a new life in the English countryside. Will Meghan follow suit? Don't bet the farm on it. Yeah, she ain't coming over, is she?
No, she's definitely not coming back to England. It's very much a hate-hate relationship on both sides of the aisle on that one. I think the Polo documentary was very interesting to see that trailer of Meghan included within it. And it actually, in my mind, sparks further alarm bells because she was never included in this whole production. And then they've suddenly slapped her name in the trailer. And I think that if it just said Harry, it would have stoked the flames more for all these rumors that are swirling about the separation. But the trailer was interesting. It was just about as trashy as I would have believed anything Meghan would put her name on. And it really was a lot more glitzy than I thought it would be. I thought it would be more about the English countryside, but it was more about rich, pompous sons kicking around.
It's not going to be the English countryside. They made it in Florida. And it's basically full of South Americans. Interestingly, as you say, we didn't know Meghan was involved, but she got her oar in, as I said. And it's so pompous, you know, produced by Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Pompous, off the scale. And we heard he's not in the series. Harry's not even in the trailer. Take a look at this.
Polo is not just a sport. Polo is a lifestyle. We eat, we breathe, we sleep polo.
For sure it's glamorous. It's a sexy sport, too. Dirty, sweaty boys, riding.
Simon, who are these people? Who gives a damn about them? This is going to tank. This is going to bomb this series.
I don't know about that. I mean, we've talked about it before, and apparently you've said, or a friend or an insider or a close source has said that it's not very good, and that's not a great trailer, I have to admit. I also think it's a bit weird when people use their titles. You remember that Ben Kingsley went through a period of kind of demanding on all the movie posters that he was called Sir Ben Kingsley, and then denied that it was true. Yeah, it's not a great look, is it? I don't think that's sort of... It's just ridiculous. And also, it's either produced by Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, or it's produced by the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Why all of that?
When I say glitzy, I do mean downright trashy. I think I can actually see Meghan in the background thinking, oh yeah, let's put some champagne and some ice baths and people will think this is some sort of royal escapade. I think it's actually to give Nacho a platform. Yeah. Because Nacho's done a lot of favours for Harry behind the scenes. Yeah. He's paid for a lot of different things for Harry and Meghan. And this could be platforming Nacho and trying to make him a thing. And I don't think it's ever going to happen. He's been trying to be made a thing.
Nacho.
Yeah, Nacho.
You fancy a cheeky nacho?
Nacho.
Nacho. That's Nacho Fernandez.
But to your other point, though, to your other point, I mean, there was a lot in your monologue that I kind of take issue with. You'll be unsurprised to hear.
That's why I wrote it.
So the first thing is, Harry's got the Invictus Games. I seem to remember that the last time she went somewhere with the Invictus Games, everybody was slagging her off for daring to elbow her way into the opening ceremony, be seen with him. So the further away she is from that, the more focus is on the people. Let me finish. It's more focus on the people the Invictus Games is about and Harry. The second thing is, if you have invested in something and somebody wants your cash for a great return, then why not go to the launch of it? I think her supporting her friend Caddy or Katie Lee, whoever it is, makes perfect sense.
Yeah, because she's invested in it.
Yeah, but
she's going to make money out of it.
Yeah, but that's what you do.
It's about the only business she is going to make money out of.
But that's what you do. We know
we're not going to make any money out of any of her business.
American Riviera Orchard has stalled, as you say.
Stalled?
So she's got
in the water.
So she's got to.
She's a petrified forest.
So she's got to diversify and investing in other people's businesses and then going along to support it to give it a boost. I don't see that there's anything wrong with that at all.
I don't blame her for that. And why not? Roll the dice, see if you can make a few bucks. You've got to make some money somewhere, Meghan, and you're not making any money yourself. Let's face facts. But yeah, sure. But it's pretty pointed that he goes to Vancouver. Yeah. Now, she loves Canada. That's her second home. I would have thought a family trip with Meghan and the kids would have been ideal. Instead, she's not with the kids. She's down in Venice Beach, part of Los Angeles, kind of bohemian district by the sea, dancing with her mates. You know, it's almost as if they're trying to tell us their marriage is in trouble.
Or they're sticking two fingers up at you guys and going, we will do what we like and leave us alone and stop poring over every little detail, putting two and two together and getting five.
Yeah, but they're not. The message Meghan would love to send is all is sweetness and light in their marriage.
Conjecture.
The message that the world is receiving on both sides of the Atlantic and in Australia and all over the world is that marriage is in a world of crap.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you're completely right about her going down to Venice Beach and doing this thing. From a woman's perspective, I'd be thinking, okay, I need to get my own brand in order. I need to get my investments ready for my exit, and I need to leave, and I need to basically fashion out my own identity without this man. And all the projects that she's been taking on in the past 6 months have definitely beckoned towards that, because I think that she's trying to now separate herself a little bit from Harry and his whole brand. And we're seeing this.
I think what's going on, Simon, we'll take some questions from the audience in a little while about Harry and Meghan, but I think what's going on is she would like to project an image of togetherness. She would like for them to be seen together, but since he is quite clearly relishing his solo trips so much, she's saying, well, I can go on solo trips as well. Here I am dancing with my friends.
Don't do that.
It's like the Trump dance.
Yeah, she's dancing. If you don't know what dancing is, it goes like this. That was a bit pathetic, yes. So we got some questions anyway,
Yes, so Tulsa Time has said Harry has a lot more to worry about than lying on his visa with the Diddy list and videos going public next year. I guarantee Harry will leave on his own. Thoughts?
Simon?
Well, I mean, the Diddy videos, there was a picture famously on the front page of one of our papers here of Harry standing next to Diddy, and then when you saw it had been cropped and William was the other side. So I think if Harry's got something to worry about, so has William. I mean, let's wait and see what comes out. This is, again, just conjecture.
I wouldn't deny it's conjecture, but it's, I would say, well-informed conjecture. You would accept that the fact they're never seen together anymore, I mean, it is worth discussing. It is interesting.
It is, but for everything that we discuss, there's a flip side, isn't there? So, like I said last week, she was given hell for always touching her baby bump and always pouring at Harry. When she stands next to him and doesn't when she doesn't
you're saying
do that,
she had a baby.
When she doesn't do that, then kind of, oh my God, they're not touching anymore. She was given a merry hell again, as I said, at the Invictus Games for appearing to be giving out sort of trophies and trying to steal the limelight. When she doesn't go along to an Invictus Games launch, then there must be something wrong with her marriage. She's damned if she do, and she's damned if she doesn't. And when everybody is commentating on you, depending on where they come from, what the optics are, you're always going to be on a lose-lose situation.
But that woman is obsessed with publicity. She's obsessed with her image. And if she could contrive a picture of Harry and her, you know, all loved up going to a restaurant or something like that right now, she would do it. I'm saying he's saying no. Something is going on there. What else have you got, Samara?
Well, that completely leads into this question from John. The divorce will be great entertainment. Meghan will be on Oprah in tears saying Harry was a racist, abusive husband. More of a statement, but I totally agree.
What about the other element of my monologue? The fact that Harry, there's no doubt, I think he'd like, at least in part, to come back to Britain, do more royal duties, be part of the royal scene again, and recapture that popularity he used to have over here. I mean, good luck with that, Harry. I think you've kind of trashed your image altogether over here, but that's what he wants to do. Now, if there is to be any chance of rapprochement, any chance of a peace pact between Harry and the royal family, it's quite clear that the royal family said, well, you can come, but we don't want anything to do with that woman again. She cannot be part of the deal.
OK, well, firstly, it's quite clear. Based on what? Again, unnamed sources, tittle-tattle and all the rest of it. And however,
You think William and Kate just love Meghan, do you?
No, I don't think they do. I don't think
they hate her.
No, but I don't know whether a sensible family that wants a rapprochement with somebody who has left the flock, I don't know whether you put down ultimatums. I don't know whether that happens. I don't know whether you say, you can come back, you're welcome back, but we don't want your wife. There's not many married couples who will go, yes, I'll go back into something, but if you don't, but we go back as a package. And I think that most people would do that. If you're in a marriage
It's more about you were the favourite royal before, son. Come back. You know, put these dastardly years behind you with this crazy lady. Come back into the family.
But don't bring her.
Yeah, exactly.
But don't bring Meghan.
Don't bring her
that
back.
interestingly,
she was the hurricane.
She's picked up on that dynamic. Her antenna has worked that out. So even though she never wanted to come back to Britain, I always said she will never step foot in this country again. I think that might still be the case. But I think now she's softened that stance because she's thinking, well, if Harry's determined to come back, then, OK, I'll eat humble pie and come with him. The irony is, on that basis, the royals will say, Harry, you can't come back. We don't want her.
Well, listen, all these egos are going to have to be put to one side. I mean, you look at the Markle family and what's happening there. You talk about Samantha, you had Thomas Jr. on, and even the dad. If there's going to be rapprochement there, people have got to move from entrenched positions, and if it's going to be in the royal family as well. And I've said this time and time again, these are not the things to be played out in public. People have got to get behind closed doors and thrash it out that way if there's going to be any... we're going to see anybody get together.
I think it should be in public. I think there should be a reality TV show.
I think you and Samara there commenting on it. Here comes Meghan Markle walking in a dress. Well, I call it a dress. I mean, if you call that a dress, how dare she?
The only way is Buckingham Palace. It's a great series, you know.
I love that.
Totally royal. OK, what do you got, Samara? More questions?
Catherine has said, I'm tired of the duo refusing to put their actual children's faces on the internet while they use other people's children constantly. Don't show any children at all as long as they refuse to show their actual children. That's a good point.
Yeah, those poor kids. It's not easy growing up in a family at war, is it, Simon?
I wouldn't know.
Well, no, it can't be easy.
No.
Growing up in Montecito, behind those gilded gates. I mean, it's open warfare.
Listen, I think it is down to parents. If you're a famous parent, and your kids really don't have a say about how much they are in the public eye or publicised, it is always down to the parents of how much they want to show the kids. And I would bet money that Harry blames the fact that he wasn't sheltered more and protected more as a kid is to why we're at now. With his relationships.
You mean his strange obsession with his own child.
With his relationships. Be they with his wife, be they with his parents, be they with his
obsessed with his child,
with his siblings.
He's obsessed with his mother. He's got to grow up. And also. I agree with you. You know,
do you? Wow.
No, only to an extent.
Indeed.
Don't get carried away. All parents are worried about their kids, and you don't want to overexpose them to publicity. But these are royal kids, and they're obsessing all those pictures of the backs of their heads. It's weird.
But there's a picture on
it's all about money. It's all about money. We've actually seen the inside of Archie's cot. They showed that when they got 100 million from Netflix in a big deal. If there's money involved, Meghan will happily shove the kids into the spotlight.
I bet you when Polo hits the screens on Netflix next month and it gets about 6 viewers for 2 episodes, I bet you we see the kids.
But that can't be
suddenly
true.
after
Exactly.
another question. Hang on, Simon.
That can't be true, though.
Yeah, it can be true. Another question.
Wendy said, bloody hell, you are all slow. Harry has moved on and is in another relationship. And Miss Pushy is angry about it and demanding he is not to reveal it to make her look stupid. Interesting
Who's
theory.
that from?
That's from Wendy.
Wendy, very interesting theory.
Are we going to use Wendy as a source now?
Well, she's good. It's good enough for me. Well said, Wendy. Very good stuff. Time for a bad ad.
Bennett, no better way to face the day. When the sun comes up, then I'm feeling fine. 'Cause the AM surely is my favorite time.
The morning belongs to Lady Speedstick. It's what to reach for, to prepare, to prevent, to protect. Powerful protection that lasts all day.
Bennett, no better way to face the day. Bennett, no better way to face the day.
Protects you like a man, treats you like a woman.
Is it deodorant?
Samara, do you have a Lady Speed stick?
It protects you like a man.
My brain goes to interesting places.
Yeah, no, it protects you like a man. I like that kind of talk.
Yeah, well, I like those ads. I think ads should be a bit more like that. That is sort of some joyous experience of being a woman.
Do you protect women, Simon?
I do. I protect them like the man I am, but but I don't know. I'm just interested to know if Samara has a lady.
I think it's time we went back to traditional roles, men protecting women.
Indeed.
And it is time now for some real adverts. What just happened?
He's mad as hell. It's Kevin O'Sullivan.
Welcome back to What Just Happened. This is the big moment of the week. Britain's migrant crisis, as I said in my monologue, just got worse because the world's worst woman, Ellen DeGeneres, has left Montecito, where she was a neighbour and friend of Meghan, and is coming our way. She's coming to Britain. She's going to live in the Cotswolds, in the English countryside. Have a look at this.
Ellen and Portia, according to multiple reports, are moving to England, putting their Montecito house on the market, and they plan to never come back.
After a lifetime of caring, I just can't anymore, so I don't.
The reason? Ellen reportedly told friends Donald Trump's re-election prompted her to, quote, get the hell out of the U.S.
Yes, that was her stand-up act, wasn't it, to relaunch her career after her chat show self-destructed due to the fact that she was so awful behind the scenes. She used to end every episode with, be kind. All the staff on the show said, she wasn't very kind to us. She's a fraud. And Britain will be a worse place with her, won't it, Simon?
Look, I think she's a pretty awful person from all reports that we've had from the people who worked on the show. I also think it's incumbent, if you are against a system, then you should stay.
She's against Trump.
Yeah, if she's against Trump.
So you can go and see her in the Cotswolds. You can sort of commune over your Trump derangement
I think that what you do is, if you don't like a political movement, is you stay and fight that, don't you? If you're against. If I was American and Trump got in, I'd be upset, as you two would know, but I'd try and do my best to kind of get the next Democrat person in.
Yeah, we'll come to that.
Yeah, we'll come to that, I'm sure.
Guess who the Democrats hope to be their next presidential candidate? You won't believe this. Kamala Harris, the world's worst politician, the most useless candidate in presidential history. They still think she's got a chance. I've got bad news for her. But look, Ellen DeGeneres is part of a syndrome, isn't it? Well, Trump derangement syndrome, of course. You got Barbara Streisand said she'd leave, Sharon Stone, Whoopi Goldberg. Who's the one that's gone to live in Eva Longoria? She's already left.
Yeah.
And still they come. So there's all these people who said they're going to leave. I'll give Ellen DeGeneres one thing. At least it looks like she's going to do it. All the others will be like they always are. I'm going to leave if Trump gets in. He got in. Oh, well, you know, never mind. I'll stick around.
Just wait until they get the tax cut.
They're just virtue signalling, aren't they? Robert De Niro, what's he going to do?
No, he's going to... Sorry, but... First of all, they're all going to get a big tax cut, like a lot of America under Trump. And also, it's never going to happen because, sorry to say it, but America is much more comfortable to live in as a very, very wealthy person than the UK. The UK is way more egalitarian. I give Ellen about 2 weeks in the Cotswolds where she doesn't have she has a waterfall in her backyard in America. She has, like, insane amounts of stuff.
We have waterfalls.
Yeah, but we don't
in England, we have waterfalls. You know,
yeah, but they
I know you're from Australia, but you've got a lot to learn about this country.
I think, though, that, I mean, if you...
She's not going to survive.
Look, if it were me and I was against Trump, which I am, and I'm American, I'd want to stay and fight that system. If she feels that system, and as a sort of, if she feels a marginalised person who feels that kind of the MAGA cult is bringing her down and affecting her mental health or whatever it is, then you get the hell out. It's her life.
Just wait.
She should do what she wants.
Just wait until she tries to boss someone around under Keir Starmer. She's going to get thrown into the clink
she-
with all the...
she-
No, seriously, with her, the way she treats people, it's not going to last long in this country.
Well, she will believe, because she's coming to a lovely socialist country, that it's going to be great. But when she gets here, I think she's in for a nasty surprise. Our socialist paradise...
Why, are you going to move next door?
Well, if only I could afford it. Our socialist paradise under the world's worst Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, is, shall we say, not a paradise. You got some questions?
Yes, on that note, should the farmers go on strike after being screwed over by Keir Starmer?
Yes, definitely.
Pay inheritance tax at 20%. I'm going to have to pay it at 40%. What about the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker who passes
but you're not feeding the nation.
Who passes their business down?
What has
screwed the farmers has been the Tories, tax loopholes, Brexit, and supermarket.
Yeah.
And if the farmers think that they're going to hold us all to ransom, what will happen to them is what happened to other farmers in Europe. They'll just go, supermarkets will just go...
So you don't think, farmers should have any special...
Listen, it's going to affect about 500 farmers and the 500 farmers and the actual threshold...
Well, why did they do it then?
The actual threshold...
It won't affect...
The actual threshold is going to be about 3 million quid, and they get 10 years to pay it back.
You say 500 farms.
About 500 farms.
Why is it then? Do you know how many farms there are in this country?
70,000.
No, 209,000. And the treasury... No, there are 209,000... Listen to me. 209,000 farms in this country. The Treasury figures, as in the government's figures, they say it will affect 27% of British farms. That comes out to around about 60 or 70,000 farms. It's not 500. And those are the government figures.
Sorry, 70,000 farms that will be affected by this, but at the end of the day, it's 500.
Yeah, but
it will be 500
No,
farms
it won't.
that have to
No,
pay
you're
the
talking
500
rubbish. It
farms that
won't.
will
It
have to
won't.
pay the threshold. Kevin,
BBC fact-checking have already said they made a... No, Simon, it's going to... According to the Treasury, it will affect 60 to 70,000 farms. According to DEFRA, which is our agricultural ministry, part of the government, they agree with the Farmers' Union, who say it will affect 66%, two-thirds of them. So that's like 180,000 or 170,000.
Also, the figures that you're quoting, if you know that you pay...
I know a lot about
when you
these
pay
figures.
inheritance tax, if it's going to affect farms that are at 1 million, you already have a tax-free allowance and an inheritance tax of about 325,000.
If it's going to affect 500 farms, what's the point of the measure? That'll make peanuts. That'll make like a few hundred quid. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and if you...
Of course it's not going to... It's going to affect a lot more than that.
Listen,
the government says so.
We all pay...
A few hundred quid to pay for the excess of the Labour government. All they've been doing is spending on useless crap like giving train drivers six-figure salaries.
Yeah, that's what this is about.
You know, and as we heard earlier the week, you know, sending 470 people to COP29. It's just, I mean, I don't think... You know, Keir Starmer keeps saying, oh, it's not a big amount of money. Then don't do this.
Yeah, well, if it's not a big amount of money, why bother? Exactly right. This is cultural. This is a bunch of metropolitan, elite, socialist politicians punishing people from the rural areas because farmers, agricultural workers don't vote Labour.
Yeah.
And,
last year,
wise of them.
Last year, 56% of farming land was bought by big business. This is to stop big business buying up that land.
Oh, yeah.
And
so that's why the farmers like it so much.
The land.
You're not correct.
So it's good for the farmers. So why are they protesting?
To stop that loophole.
Simon, you clearly
so that people
haven't...
can hang on to
No, it's not about that.
They're protesting because they can't afford now, under this system, 20% inheritance tax.
Where everybody else pays 40.
To pass on but they get special dispensation.
Yeah, they get...
The whole thing about this is that it's actually not going to affect the big corporations. It's going to affect...
It is.
No, and it's not going to affect the really poor farmers. It's going to affect the middle, which is the thing that's actually the backbone of our nation. And I just think that it's so disrespectful of these people that live in the inner suburbs of London to be ruling on people...
These SOBs from our Labour government, why did they cancel the winter fuel allowance in this country?
Yeah,
let's just
terrible.
Let's just explain it. In this country, old age pensioners, they get, until Labour came in, They got like £300 a year, $500 or something like that, to heat their homes, to help them heat their homes during the winter, because a lot of them are quite hard up, quite poverty-stricken. Labour, our socialist pals who became the government in July, they cancelled that, and now we're in the winter. We have a station here called Talk. We're getting phone calls from old ladies and old men sobbing because they're sitting in their homes and it's like -1. That's what this socialist government's done. And why did they do it? Because old people don't vote Labour. They're really cruel and rude.
OK, here's one for you then,
You agree
Kevin.
with that?
Here's one. No, I just said.
You agree with that?
I said I do
that
not
it was
agree
horrible
with,
to
yes,
do that.
And I don't agree with the winter fuel tax cut. I think it's terrible.
Good.
But I also think that if you're a man who's built up a load of butchers' shops, and then when you die, you want to pass that family business on to your kids, why do those kids have to pay inheritance tax of 40% straight away when farmers get to pay it at 20% over a 10-year period with no interest?
No,
it's not fair.
You know what the difference is?
I would give the same dispensation to the butchers, because they're helping to feed the nation as well.
Cool.
Our
we're
food
bringing the
supplies,
farmers in line with everybody else.
Our food supplies are going to go down the toilet, aren't
but
they?
also, Simon, you just reveal how little you know about the farming community, because when you talk about that butcher,
Whereas I'm an expert.
Well,
yes.
I'm Australian.
Come
Listen
on.
to me on this. That farmer has built up that business first generation. All these farms are like 10th generation. And so the people who are running them don't actually have that much money. It's all inherited.
But I'm saying about a butcher as well.
I think they should get dispensation.
You can have a family business that has been running since...
But Simon, this isn't even the point of the whole conversation. It's actually about the fact that we're taxing really vulnerable people, and Labour it's not normal to have
listen,
protest.
a lot of the...
Also, Simon, if you say it's affecting very, very few farms, that means that the revenue that the government says it so desperately needs will be negligible. So why cause all the upset? Why do it?
It's also to
Why
stop...
do it? No, answer that question. Why do it? If it's not...
I'm trying to answer the question.
No, you're not. Is it?
Yes, I am.
Go on, then.
It's to stop... it's also to stop... They're trying to do three things here. They're trying to make it more... they're trying to make a fairer system for people who haven't had to pay inheritance tax up until now. They're trying to stop wealthy landowners. You know how much... You know how many acres Jeremy Clarkson bought? Your average farmer is around about 200 acres. He bought something like, I think, 4,000 acres. And he did say in the interview it was to get round inheritance tax. And it's also to slow down big business buying up farmland, which then they're building on. Yeah, so there's three things they're trying to do there.
Literally, I'm a big fan of Jeremy Clarkson, but we must point out that his plight is not quite so acute as other farmers, because he's got a massive deal with Amazon Prime to make Clarkson's farm. But anyway, time for a bad ad.
Feeling kind of peckish?
Dial a chicken! We've got chicken, hot juicy chicken. Dial a chicken, dial a chicken. We deliver hot juicy chicken.
Free fast delivery to all metropolitan areas. The delicious giant family dinner. Great value at only $15.50. Plus other great menu items.
Dial a chicken, dial a chicken.
Dial a chicken.
Give us a ring.
Back down under. That's an Australian.
Under.
Did you dial a chicken while you were down under in Australia?
I grew up in a vegetarian household.
What did you dial? What did you dial a lentil?
I dialed a Child Protective Services to get me out of there because,
out of your vegan mother's clutch.
I love the fact that is ultimately delivered.
You know, folks, that Samara's never eaten any meat or fish or anything.
No, really? No, I haven't.
Yeah.
That's why I've got lots of problems.
Eat meat.
Yeah, lying.
Yeah.
I don't.
No,
I don't. I'm an animal lover.
Yeah.
I eat fish.
Yes.
I hate fish, though.
We are more pure than you, Simon.
That was basically the first Deliveroo ad, wasn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
Dial a chicken.
Yeah, Australia was on to it.
Let's go and dial a real break. What just happened?
He's mad as hell. It's Kevin O'Sullivan.
Welcome back to What Just Happened. This is part 3, and Samara Gill has got some questions.
So, a record number of illegal migrants have pretended to be gay to stay in the UK, allegedly. How can this be stopped?
It's people trying to game the system, isn't it? What would be very funny is if all those people saying they were gay had to go and live with some gay people for a month, be taken out to clubs, and it feels like there was a really good film or sitcom in there.
So they're getting interviewed for their asylum application. Imagine the guy from the government official. So. Do you like musicals?
or presses on a tape machine and suddenly ABBA plays.
What's your gaydar like, Samara?
It's really bad. One of my ex-boyfriends turned out to be gay. I think it was after we parted ways. I think I might have turned him gay.
So,
yeah.
So
I actually have a really bad gaydar.
And is he a migrant? Is he living here now?
No.
So that relationship must have sort of sent you to the end of your tether. I bet you didn't know which way to turn.
Yeah, well, Whoa.
I'm here all week. I'm here all week.
But you say something, it's not easy to prove. And you were saying this on your show this week.
Well, it was with your boyfriend, I bet.
How the hell do you prove that one is gay?
Yeah. We've been going out for 2 years. We talk about our sex life. And when is it going to start?
Yeah, perfect relationship for me.
But
tell us about your first sexual experience, son. Are you looking forward to it?
I can't remember all their names.
All right, we've got some more questions.
How's your gaydar? You are gay.
Yeah, it's pretty good. No, I'm not gay.
I thought he was a pedo last week.
I'm a pedo, I'm a rapist, I'm a thief.
A lot of people on YouTube think you're gay.
Yeah, I know.
That's because I keep saying
I know. You keep kissing me in public.
I think I've got a good gaydar.
Okay.
I've got a lot of gay friends.
But they're just, it's just a ruse, isn't it? And hey, good luck to
I'll tell you what is an interesting dynamic. I do, that sort of old cliche, I've got a lot of gay friends, but I really, really do.
Yeah, you do.
And the reason is because I'm married, but I don't have any kids. So all of your married friends, all the people with partners who have children, if you don't have children, you sort of drift away from them. So me and Henrietta, we've ended up with all these gay friends.
They're a superior
childless group of, we're the sort of the token heterosexuals, but there you go.
They're a superior group of people. I think that they're better than all of us. The London Assembly wants Sadiq Khan to give illegal immigrants free travel around London. Is that a good idea?
I mean, Simon, I want to get your view on that. I think it's disgraceful. What they're saying is that people like you, me, Samara, people who live in London, for years and years, we're the residents of London. We're Londoners.
Yeah.
We don't get free travel. But what Sadiq Khan, the just lousy, disgracefully useless mayor of London, is saying that he wants to give asylum seekers, migrants, free travel. So they turn up from Syria, come across the channel, we put them in a hotel, and then we give them free travel. It's just one more incentive to get them to stay. Why don't we come up with deterrents? Like what I would do with migrants is say, you want to get on the tube in London, you want to get on the buses? Double fare. How about that?
Jesus.
Why not? Well, that's a good idea.
Okay.
It's a deterrent.
Okay.
Everywhere you go. You want to get a bus ride? 50 quid.
First of all, why? Why is he saying that?
Because he's an idiot.
No, but why? What's the reason behind it?
Because he thinks he's virtue signalling.
He's not virtue signalling. There must be a reason.
He's being lovely to the poor people.
Angry about...
He's being lovely to those poor people who lied that they're escaping war and torture.
So in your book, these non-gay migrants come over, get to stay in hotels and get free travel. You must be frothing. You must be foaming at the mouth.
Well, I am a bit.
But we don't know why.
To be fair,
somebody give it some context. Why is that?
To be fair to Sadiq Khan, if you want to give it context, the London Assembly, which is like the Parliament of London, they voted to say yes, because they're all a bunch of virtue signalers as well. Let's be nice to migrants.
Listen, but there is one thing...
So they voted for it, and that vote has become an instruction to the mayor. But you know what Khan's like? He'll do that like a dose of salt.
I don't know whether he will. There's one thing, though, that I do take issue with. This whole idea...
Oxford Council already
There's this whole idea that migrants come over and get put in hotels. They get put in buildings that were former hotels, often in bunk beds 6 to a room. They don't get room service.
Make it 12 to a room.
They don't use the amenities or anything else. It's buildings
Make
that
it 12 to a
it's
room.
buildings that were former hotels, and like every time you go around saying, "Oh, they come over here, they get put in 5-star hotels." That's just not.
Yeah,
in the
well,
main,
I'll tell you,
in the main case.
what do
it's
they get
not
when they're
true.
in France?
It's in the main.
What do
case,
they
it's
get
not-
when they're in France? I'll tell you what they get. If they're really lucky, they get a tent.
Yeah.
So they don't put them anywhere.
So they come over.
you know, whatever accommodation we give them is rather generous.
Okay, but let's stop
And we
saying
do give
that-
them free hotels.
It's not free hotels.
Of course it is.
It's
Well,
a
they don't
centre-
pay for the
But
bloody
you know
things.
what? The
But
why
it's a-
people get pissed off, Simon, is because
It's because people like
because we've
you
got-
two
no,
say it's
because-
hotels,
no,
and they're
because we've
not.
got pensioners
Well,
literally.
look, sorry, Samara. Listen, just yesterday, it was revealed, fact, that Yvette Cooper, our Home Secretary, Calamity Cooper, and useless Keir Starmer, our pathetic Prime Minister.
Come on.
They vowed when they came in to stop using hotels to accommodate our illegal migrants. Guess what? They're actually using more hotels to accommodate illegal migrants than when they came in. So more and more and more. So we are putting thousands and thousands of migrants into hotels.
In buildings that were hotels.
No!
Simon, the issue...
They're hotels!
The issue is it's all connected. You know how we get so upset about the farmers getting taxed through the nose? That's because that money then goes into this.
Yeah, didn't
and
you
that's
see-
really annoying because people are working really hard and people feel really poor at the moment.
There was a story last weekend. A couple up near Manchester had booked this hotel for their wedding. Heartbroken. They got kicked out. Can't have your wedding. We're filling this hotel with migrants because the government gives these hotels very good contracts to get rid of their legitimate guests and fill them with migrants.
Take a good look at yourself. Are you looking good or are you just okay? Shape up to date, the European way. Have a good look for yourself.
Have a good look at European Health Spa's 30-day program, only $29.95 with free vitamins and fitness kit.
Looking good, looking good, looking good, looking good. The European way. European Health Spas.
I mean, back in the 70s and 80s in Britain and I think in America, the adverts were astonishing. Now, frankly, they're crap. And on that bombshell, we'll go to a real break. What just happened?
He's mad as hell. It's Kevin O'Sullivan.
Welcome back to What Just Happened. It is time now for the complaints department where you have all been kind enough to send us thousands of messages. You do every week. And I think we kind of equally get criticised, don't we? Mainly Simon, but I get my fair share. Actually, Samara comes out of it best.
Yes, everyone likes Samara.
So everybody, up your game. Let's start criticising her. Slam Samara. That's your task.
A lot of
for
material
next
to work
week.
with.
But meanwhile, what have we got this week then, Samara?
So we've got Pat Williams, okay, has said, want to stick around and hear Simon's fairer viewpoint, as well as the warped perspective of Polly the Parrot, or whoever the hell she is. That's me.
Polly the Parrot! See, I asked, I got, yes, ask and you shall receive. Polly the Parrot. Yeah, go on, Polly.
But there's only so much of this clown show that I can tolerate. Oh my God, I'm never going to
Polly the Parrot.
I look like a parrot
All
today.
right, Simple Simon, what have you got?
Lucy Marin Major says, why is Simon always on the wrong side of the fence? Is blind, or is that he doesn't really understand anything? He loves nothing more.
Yeah. Why are you always on the wrong side of the fence? What was her name again?
Lucy.
Well, it's because he's thick. That's why. Samara, Polly, as we know.
Yes, I think Donald has more important things to do than Harry. Samara, I hope I got your name right. You look lovely. Your complexion is exquisite. An intelligent and beautiful woman, you're blessed. I'm a grandmother, so this is a true compliment. Yeah. All right, thanks, Diana.
Thank you very much to the Royal Society for the Blind for that lovely message. And now, Simon.
This is from Kelly McNamee, and she says, Kevin, will you please stop interrupting Simon while he's speaking?
Hang on a second. What are you talking?
Getting tired of your drama, she says.
Getting tired of my drama. That's what I do. That's what I do. I do interrupt him too much, but that's by popular demand. Samara.
Menace to Society has said, Kev, I can't listen to that, Simon. No matter what you say, you're wrong in his eyes. Love your show, but I just can't watch your show with him on.
Blimey.
Yeah, that's really rough.
Was it Dennis the Menace?
Menace to society.
Menace, come on. You know, we give him a hard time. Surely you can enjoy us destroying him week after week. So what have you got?
Dallin Dave says, that Simon character is extremely disrespectful. What makes him an expert on President Donald J. Trump? So tired of these woke idiots. So you got rid of that JJ guy for him. More of the same. Thank God President Trump won. We have experienced the worst administration in our history. Thank God the adults are finally back in the room. Love you, Kevin.
Do you agree with that sentiment, Simon?
No, I don't love you, Kevin.
No.
Dallin Dav, no, I don't agree with the
Do you
word.
agree that it's good that Trump's in charge?
It's
looking good, though, isn't it?
Over the moon.
It's looking good.
Yeah, that cabinet of clowns.
Yeah. It's good, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Teaspoon has said, Simon, you have no right to tell anyone to pull themselves out of anyone's backside. You have yours so far up, Harry and Meghan's, it's a wonder you can breathe or talk.
What people don't realise is that I'm not a massive fan of Harry and Meghan. I just disagree with what you guys say. I'm not. You won't find pictures of them on my wall. Not when I can have pictures of Samara, Polly the Parrot.
Whose pictures have you got up there? Kamala Harris?
Yes,
and
yeah.
Joe Biden.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're now tear-stained.
Lorraine Blanche says, I love her eye rolls. We get one in every video.
Yes.
Go on.
Oh, Simon.
Okay.
Janny has said, so funny. The big guy on the panel is definitely there for the laughs. He keeps grabbing his arms every time Kev says something that upsets him. I think he would like to strangle Kevin.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt about that. He's not that big, by the way. I'm bigger than him in so many ways. Go on.
Trixie says, ha, 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 ha. This show is awesome and spot on. Nailed it, except for Simon. The Harkles are weirdos. Meghan is a malignant narcissist and con artist.
Who's that from?
Trixie.
Brilliant, Trixie. Really, really good message. Tune in again. Well, sounds like you will. So anyway, great. Thank you. What have you got, Samara?
Pam said, thank you for the great laugh, Kevin, with your tooth gate.
Oh,
Ironically, this happened to me as well, just not on TV, but in a meeting, and my tooth fell out. It's replaced now, but I had to find the funny side.
Yeah,
there you go.
It's still going on.
People
Trust
in the
me,
battle.
it's still going on in so many ways. I think maybe this time next week, we may be at the end of the road finally, but it's not over yet. My mental nightmare continues apace. So,
Donna Morales says, Simon needs to stay on your show. He needs to learn a lot from Kevin.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's the way I see it, actually. Who was that again from?
Donna Morales.
Yeah, Donna Morales. That's the way I see it. I see myself as a sort of teacher. I'm educating Simon, and it's a tough road, but I'm dedicated to my task. And probably by this time next year, he'll be a big Trump fan. He'll be standing there going,
whoa.
Yeah, Donald's doing brilliantly, Samara.
Maz has said, Simon isn't mean like the other two. I agree with Simon. All right, I mean...
Sounds like I agree with Nick, doesn't it? Yeah,
Paulette Ball says, Simon is great. I don't agree with everything he says, but he has a lovely smile.
Yeah.
Cringe.
Is that it? It's not that lovely. Samara.
Someone has said, I love watching Samara's face when Simon goes on a rant. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I need to get it all Botoxed up one of these days and just sort of not be able to react to anything because I don't have a poker face, quite the opposite.
Dale says, OMG, when Simple Simon starts to talk, I mute my phone. Arms swinging, his mouth moving all sorts of ways. His looks, so funny, but he makes so much sense that way.
He doesn't make any sense at all, ever, ever. Yeah, Simon's brilliant and makes a lot of sense, said no one ever. By the way, this time last week, it was a slightly muted performance by me because if I said if I said performance, my tooth would have flown out. It's not a tooth, it's a veneer. This time it's stuck in, but I'm waiting for the permanent one. And we will keep you up to date with this fascinating saga as it continues. Time for a bad ad.
From hamburger that's not the same old grind.
Velveeta just popping with good ideas.
How do you get an apple and 2 slices of bread to add up to a snack?
Velveeta just popping with good ideas.
What are you left with when there are no leftovers?
Velveeta just popping with good ideas. No wonder it's so popular. America spells cheese. K-R-A-F-T.
Velveeta, American cheese. I love America, but don't go there for cheese. When I was in California, they used to have this advert, and it went like this: cheese, cheese, something cheese. I could 2, 4, 6, 8. I could eat my body weight in cheese, cheese. And it was awful. It was like Velveeta. Velveeta, I don't think so. I mean, Americans love them all, but honestly, folks, you don't get cheese out of a tube. Okay? And on that instructive bombshell, that is the end of this edition of What Just Happened. We'll be back same time, same place, this time next week. Enjoy this show, and we'll see you again. What just happened?